Here we go. This is Cofidis showing their hand a little bit earlier than perhaps we'd have thought. They're going for it,
blocking move from Castroviejo there, just to make sure that they get prime place at the bottom of this very steep climb here.
Oh. And here it is, he slam into it, and this is what we're telling you, that suddenly you hit on the turn there about 10, 12 and 14% we're dealing with right now, but they're trying to sprint up it. This is tough. This is why Vingegaard may well come up towards the 4. Where's Lander? He's locked in, can't quite get through. Perfect. Mas goes off. Vingegaard locks onto him at the moment. He's guiding up Vingegaard. Attila Valter, maybe you want to use him a little bit later on. Maybe that's just a wheel guard. Godot's also in the frame here, looking further back through this group, and Lander has been dispatched, at least for the moment. I'm not quite sure they'll be telling Vingegaard that over the radio. Just out of position, Jonas Aguirre just bouncing, rocking side to side, and others just coming through here to have a dig. This is fantastic, Brian.
Yep, started to kick off Mas now, and it is very, very steep but very short as well. Whether they're going to continue on, Gaul decides to go AG2R, but Jonas Aguirre there, McNulty, most of the GC contenders are here. I don't think they'll get too much of a gap. Landa is there in the green jersey just behind Godot, but over the top it'll be interesting to see if anybody pushes on. It's less likely that all the GC riders are here, that they will help each other.
Landa is here. Vingegaard just having a look over his shoulder. Jonas Aguirre just dips his head. That's almost a poker tell with him that he's about to go. Let's wait and see. Valter comes through. Just onto his back wheel goes Vingegaard, as if this is a hiatus in hostilities. It's not the last of our climbs either, Brian, but you see how destructive they can be, and we've got another one before we get to the line.
Yep, interesting. And Attila Valter just comes to the front, eases things back, and now we see Sobrero coming up there for Jaco Alula. He was caught out. Skelmos was caught out as well, but he's coming back. Mauro Smith just at the back of the group as well, but slowly but surely it's all coming back together. But an interesting move from Enric Mas from Movistar. Hopefully he tries again, but you see Vingegaard straight on him. Yeah, very much so. Also, as Brian was saying, Brandon McNulty is there. Rigoberto Urán is also in the frame here. 8.3 kilometres from home. They're still wrestling with it. Guglielmi, I think, from Arkea Samsic, just trying to get up. Could be Christian Rodriguez, actually, more likely. Let's wait and see. 8.3 kilometres from home. Another testy climb, and Chavez it is that goes up. Animator so often of days such as this, and Esteban kicks on. Coming through is Vingegaard, sort of has a look at him, has another look at him as well, and he's wanting to know where Valter is. Where's my guide, he says, and here he is. There is just watching around as well. He's on the shoulder of Landa at the moment, and Urán was clearly going to be helped out there by Esteban Chavez. That's their battle plan for today. Now here is that. It's not the final descent, this, by any means. We've got a couple of kickers. In fact, I think we've still got a very, very spicy climb still to come in terms of gradients. Let's have a look. 7.8 kilometres from home. Then let's have a look. We got a moment. Valter. Almost misguiding Vingegaard, who keeps it sensible, has a look back as if to say, "You're supposed to be my guide dog here. What happened there?" Being hounded by others, Jonas Aguirre comes up and folds over the top. Now, is this going to be just pacing as far as Vingegaard is concerned? He'll have some of that. Mas has a look over his shoulder, wants to know who's there, and it is Chavez who's absolutely right there. There's a few others as well to conjure with here, not least the green jersey, of course. Gal is also in the frame. Jonas Aguirre has a look, and here comes Valter as if to say, sorry, mate. Didn't mean to misguide you. Vingegaard's letting nothing go. Chavez straight onto it. Before that, Enric Mas, Jonas Aguirre, he's just shutting everything down. Valter, Attila Valter comes to the front, of Hungarian champion. Very much a reduced group here of about 20-25 riders, and
This is the moment that if you've got teammates behind that you want to shut this one down, but this is a decent enough gap now to the second group in the road now.
I think so. I think it's stickable. We do have Landa versus Vingegaard, of course, for bonus seconds. Not quite sure whether they'll be in the frame by the end of the day, but Vingegaard's shown a willingness to close everything down. It's going to come down to who's got the best sprint out of this group, I think, Brian.
Well, we'll see. It's one rider. We might see a bit of a regrouping behind. It's not flat out. And I think the likes of Ineos trying to drag Ethan Hayter back to this front group and keep him in contention, because he missed out that time. They hit that last climb right at the front, but because of the attacks there, they've lost a bit of time, and we could see a regrouping. Just looking at the bottom of the picture now to see what the time gap is. A lot of looking behind. James Knox must be interested as well. He's up here. Mauro Smith at the back there.
These are those who look like they have missed out, quite frankly. Yeah,
and they stayed with Ethan Hayter. They're trying to guide him in. I think they'll come back because they seem to have a lot of firepower. It really depends on how they attack this next climb.
Yeah. Well, this will just about wind it out, to be honest. Once they've dealt with this, let's have a look. Walter, clearly very much in attacking mode. Have you seen, Brian, Aaron Burrow within this group?
I think he is. There's a couple of Movistar riders in
Guerrero,
here.
definitely, but I don't know if Aaron Burrow's here.
Yeah, it's kind of difficult to see at the moment. Definitely Gorka Izagirre is there. Is Guerrero there? Not too sure.
Is that James Knox coming up the outside here?
Yep.
Driving it in. This will be a great foil. Now then, will Schmidt get on his back wheel? He does so. And here we go. This is fantastic.
They're riding now because they don't want Ethan Hayter to come back now. So they've got Baggioli sitting second place, but they've got Mauro Smith as well. So the reason why James has come up is because they don't want Ineos to come back with Ethan Hayter.
Baggioli it is that's there. Sorry for misguiding, you can't see Schmidt. So Baggioli and James Knox powering on. Banner McNulty in the frame. It is Lacknesund who has made it up here. Simon Yates is also where he wants to be. There's Iran now just piloting for the time being. Was that Schmidt further back? Yeah, it was. So roll the dice whenever you can, Brian. This is fantastic. The chase, I think, has got too big a task with 4.7 kilometres to go. The firepower up the road, I think they're done for.
Yeah, now 15 seconds. I thought they had a chance to come back. There was enough firepower able to ride. Danny Martinez was trying to ride back, but I think the nail in the coffin for this group now with Ethan Hayter in it is Ethan Hayter to come back. So this is the reason why Soudal Quickstep have decided to start riding at the front here, because they have got a couple of options, but I think it's Mauro Smith, who's just moving up on the left-hand side, is their best option.
Well, he's a good one for them, of course. Jonas Aguirre will have to go on an early attack if he's going to make it. Finger go. Landa just haranguing somebody. The hand went up. Shelmos is here in the blue jersey as well. He's on the back wheel for the time being of Vingegaard. That is Godot that's up towards the front. Is Roman Gregoire up here as well, Brian, for Groupama? That's the question today.
I've only seen one Groupama rider, and that's Godot. This is Baggioli at the front, but just looking behind, they're getting oh so close to the back of this group now. They've taken all the cars out. You can just see them there. This is only a matter of about 10 seconds. Yeah,
but they now have a downhill run and then a kind of a technical breach to deliver by the time they get to the bottom of it. Now we're hugging the highway at the moment. We're going to come up on, basically loop back upon ourselves in a few moments' time. You'll see we'll come down the other side of the road. It's a nasty old drag that we're dealing with. This is Danny Martinez, who's struggling more than perhaps he should, Brian.
Yeah, Aaron Burrow is there as well. So Aaron Burrow, 1, 2, 3, Martinez. But Martinez has done a lot of work. They're just there in front. Ethan Hayter has just moved up in this front group. It's going to be touch and go whether they're going to make it or not. A couple of riders trying to go across on their own, but they've been brought back. It's now or never, but I think possibly never, because of Baggioli pushing hard on the front and making sure that Ethan Hayter and Aaron Burrow don't come back.
This is a great carpet ride, I think, for Matthias Chelmos. Of this group, he's got a very powerful finish. He's clever about it as well. Let's see. 3.5 kilometers to go, so we're just about to make a turn here. Left, it's onto a sort of a half roundabout, and they'll almost immediately, I believe, go right. Let's wait and see. Last little pickup that we've got to deal with, as the road does indeed bend right. Well, we've got 3.3 kilometers to go. So this is that little hairpin at the top that will bring them back. Remember, I said they kind of double back on themselves for the highway. 3.2. They need more of a drive if they're going to stop those behind, and it's a hell of a burden for Soudal Quickstep, who've done most of the work today, and they pick it back up. They're happy to do so, Brian. Here we go.
Yeah, the difference of 2 days. Yesterday, they had no help whatsoever chasing Vingegaard and Landa. Now they're 2 riders in the breakaway all day, really wanted to try and win this stage. And they're in the driving seat. They've got Badgiola and James Knox in this group. They've got Mauro Schmid in here, so 3 riders. Mauro Schmid, I would say, would be one of the fastest in this group. So looking good for Soudal Quickstep. And in fact, you can just see behind, they're starting to send a couple of the team cars up. So a lot of the commissars thinking that, you know, this group is not going to come back.
Enric Mas is here. He'd like to deliver, but it's likely to be Ruben Guerrero, I'd have thought. Baggioli or Mauro Schmidt, not quite sure. They're both here. Vingegaard himself may well start to think about having a sniff, but to be honest, with so many quick men who've actually found themselves in this part, Jonas Aguirre would be my bet if it wasn't being pounded at the moment by Soudal Quickstep, who are doing a fantastic job, having firepower. 21 seconds. They've given up the ghost behind, Brian. 1,600 metres to go. Here we come.
Yeah, it's not coming back at all now. It got very, very close, but not coming back. Courtesy of Soudal Quickstep. They acted very, very quickly there. They realised the gap was there. Attila Valter was the rider for Jumbo-Visma that was riding on the front, but James Knox straight to the front, put the pressure on. Baggioli as well, now trying to lead out to Mauro Schmidt. Who can compete with Mauro Schmidt? That's the question.
Well, I've got a feeling it might well be Chelmos. Let's wait. Let's wait and see. Mauro Schmidt in a great place with essentially a lead out for Movistar, Enric Mas and Guerrero. And it's Mas that's leading Guerrero at the moment, so he's going to have his chance today. There's Jonas Aguirre, and straight by him goes Valter. Vingegaard can't find him. Cannot find
Schmidt.
him. I don't know if he's going to get on the radio.
Schmidt is straight on the wheel. You see when Valter went there, Mauro Schmidt is straight on the wheel. Iran is also just behind him, but there's a tricky dog leg coming up with only a few hundred metres to go.
Sobrero is just speared by. This is a great guide that's going on at the moment with Enric Mas. 450 metres. They have a double phase, 2 roundabouts, but it's essentially a hairpin. You'll see that. So they go into this corner. I haven't seen the Flamme Rouge just yet.
Yep.
There we are.
We're inside the last few hundred metres here,
Yes,
Carlton,
we are.
and Mauro Schmidt's been pushed back.
450 to go. Now then, who's got it to pick up at a moment such as this? And here comes Vingegaard. Who else is in the frame here? Oh my goodness! It's a drive for the line. Rigoberto Urán thinking about it, picking up through the centre. Can't offer it up for Schmidt just for the time being. Higuita's got his head down. He's going for the barriers, but who's going to stop him? Nobody is the answer. Oh my life! Well, on a tough day, sometimes you've got to have a tough demeanour to come through and steal it at the very last. And this is going to be a country mile until we get back to everybody else, Brian.
It is. It was well won there from Higuita. Just noticed that Attila Valter on his wheel had Mauro Schmidt, and into that double phase corner, Mauro Schmidt got pushed back out of position, came round that corner, and Higuita just surprised everybody. Never surprised many, because he got a good sprint finish, but Baggioli tried, but Baggioli had already been riding a lot in the run in. I just think that Soudal Quickstep messed that one up completely with Mauro Schmidt. He was too far back out that final corner and had nothing in the legs to come back.
There was a lot of disengagement there. You saw the desire as well for Attila Valter to guide Vingegaard. They lost each other as well. They almost started to lead Rigoberto Urán into the frame. Sergio Higuita for Bora Hansgrohe gets gets the day. You saw the sprint being led in there, those following on in the second group, and it was Ethan Hayter that crossed the line first. Take us through this, Brian, this double phaser to take us to 450.
Well, Baggioli was in third place there. It was being led out from Movistar, and Guerrero was there, but just see Higuita starting to open up his sprint on the right-hand side here, but Mauro Smid is down the left. Look, it's so much to do. Uran was there, Vingegaard just got kind of pushed onto the barriers a little bit there. Baggioli was coming back there, Guerrero, but on the left-hand side coming quickly was Schmitz and Skelmos, but you can see the banging of the bars there where Mauro Smid just get pushed out of it. Higuita wins from Baggioli, but yeah, a very disappointed Mauro Smid. That was for the taking there, and he completely messed that up in that double phase of corner.
Skelmos finishing third behind Baggioli. Higuita taking the day. Oh, gosh, catch your breath. That was punishing at the end there, Brian. So many different hazards to deal with. They did a good job of threading the needle, to be honest.
Yeah, it wasn't the fastest of sprints after a day like today. It was a difficult one.
Higuita.